Hey, fellow Kotanas, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kopivian, and we are back with another prediction video. This time it is for WWE's Backlash in Tampa Bay. So this event, of course, is coming off of WrestleMania 42 in Vegas, and hopefully, I'm going to say it right off the bat, hopefully, we don't get too many ads, but hopefully we do get, at least, maybe even in the most minuscule of ways, hopefully we do get a finish to the true story for Kairi Sane. By the way, Kairi will be on this entire video, so I don't care what anybody has to say about it. It's going to be there, and it's staying there. Alright, let's get my predictions for this week's Backlash underway. Alright, so we're going to get this prediction video started off with the WWE United States Championship match between WWE United States Champion Trick Williams, with Little Yachty apparently, and challenger Sami Zayn. So, this matchup, of course, their match at WrestleMania, I thought was going to be a secretly really good match, and it turned out to be just that. This is another case where I think that this matchup this return match following WrestleMania 42 is going to be another secret great. Mainly because of the fact that these two have equity built into this rivalry now. And this is, more than likely, this is where this match is going to have the big payoff for this rivalry, I would think. I do think that this ridiculous storyline with the gingerbread man's going to continue. Why I think that is because I think that maybe, just maybe, somebody might be returning. Who? Depending on his return timetable, I haven't heard an update, but maybe, just maybe, KO comes back and has something to do with the decision in this match. I haven't heard an update. Nothing's come out about KO recently, so who knows. At the end of the day, I think Trick Williams is still going to come out as the WWE United States Champion. I don't think his time to relinquish the title has come up yet. But again, it's going to be one of those... It's not going to be better than the WrestleMania match, but I think it's going to come close to maybe being better, but just miss the mark just a little bit. I still hope that gingerbread man effect doesn't come into play, but we'll see. Here we go. A very bitter rivalry, one that continued at WrestleMania in the matchup between Seth Rollins and Gunther. Here we go with Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman at his side. And this matchup, it's going to be a good matchup. Might be the best one of the night. Maybe. This matchup actually does have me really highly interested. The rivalry between these two over the past several weeks after WrestleMania has been really well told, in all honesty. And leading into this year's Backlash, I think it's the right move for it to be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker now, since Braun Breaker's obviously cleared to compete. And it still sucks, I think, that we didn't get to see this matchup at WrestleMania, but nonetheless, I have a feeling that if there would be any match that has the most ads that interrupt the match, God, I hope not, I would think that it would probably be this matchup, because I do feel that it has the most interest from the fans, aside from Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This matchup's going to be really good. I think there's going to be a lot of heat between these two, and for good reason, obviously, because this rivalry needs that. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these two goes for chairs or breaks announce tables. I wouldn't be surprised at anything. Even if the barricade gets broken, I wouldn't be surprised at that either, because this rivalry right now just is calling for something to get a little bit more extreme for it. And this is the case right here at Backlash, where we're going to see it get a little bit more extreme. And I actually think that even though Seth Rollins would make the most sense to win because of what Braun Breaker did at WrestleMania, I think that it slows up a lot of what could be the continuous rivalry into the next event, and the story building a little bit more for these two going into the next event. I think that it would be proper if Braun Breaker comes out the victor in this one, because he right now, not only is he coming off of an injury, it would get him back on track, and ultimately I think that it serves a better story purpose overall for what's being told, especially if the Vision does interfere in this match, which, again, here we go, we're talking about interference, but what other play do you have, WWE? What other play does anybody have when you intertwine so many people, so many wrestlers into a story, let alone celebrities into a story? There's got to be a point where you just stop. There's got to be that point. I would love to see a 2 Stages of Hell match between these two. I think that would be fucking entertaining. I think it would be brilliant to have these two compete inside of a 2 Stages of Hell match, or even a Hell in a Cell match at the next event. I would love to see that, but for now, I think Braun Breaker wins it. This rivalry needs to keep building. It needs to get more and more hardcore, as we would say back in the day. It needs to get to a point where it's just where everything's boiling over. It's not at that point yet. It's not there yet. I know a lot of people think it is, but it's not. This rivalry is just reaching the edge. Okay. So we've talked about a very heated rivalry between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Now let's get into something that is a little less fire, in my opinion. Danhausen and a partner to be announced versus The Miz and Kit Williams. Out of all of the options that WWE has to possibly be Danhausen's partner at Backlash in this tag team match, I really hope it's not John Cena. I really hope that he stays true to his word and he stays out of competition. Not because I don't want to see John, but just because it would be nice for once for a wrestler to stay in retirement after stating that they are going to be in retirement and stay there, and not want to come back out. I think the match with Gunther was perfect. Doesn't need to be anything else. We all remember what happened with D-Generation X versus the Brothers of Destruction. Ugh. In saying that, the other choices that I would think would be good for Danhausen to have as a tag team partner in his first ever PLE match in WWE would be, in my opinion, Joe Hendry. And the reason why I say Joe Hendry is because even though he's embroiled with the Vision right now, it would make sense for the Danhausen character to get mashed with the Joe Hendry character for this one-off match, essentially. It's a story that favors Danhausen and a partner of his choosing to come out the victors, and that would be like the obvious way to go. But I think to add some kind of twist into Danhausen's character, honestly, I don't have a lot to say about this match other than who I think's gonna win, and I think that The Miz and Kit Wilson will come out the victors, even with whoever Danhausen chooses. Even the only way I see Danhausen coming out the victor in this one, even if it's Joe Hendry as his tag partner, is with Royce Keys coming out. Obafemi doesn't need to be anywhere near this. Royce Keys would make the most sense, seeing as he is on SmackDown and isn't currently really in anything. I think I'm changing my prediction for who his partner is going to be. It's going to be Royce Keys. I've been waiting to talk about this one, obviously. We want Kairi still on this video. We now come to Io Sky versus Asuka. Should have been at WrestleMania. Definitely should have been at WrestleMania. Sad that it wasn't, but they had to make room for ads, obviously. If they really want to try and keep in good faith with Kairi, especially the WWE, they would have her come back for one night only, if not to somehow make a new contract deal with her. But I definitely think that if Kairi was to come back, it would put this match over the edge to where I think it is going to be if it's just Io and Asuka in there. Granted, I want to see Io versus Asuka as much as anybody. It's going to be a great match. It really is. I have no disrespect for the talent of these two women. They are two of my favorite wrestlers in the world right now. They really are. However, the story needs Kairi to be in it at some point in time, and sadly, if she doesn't show up, I think that's just going to leave too much of a stain in the fans' minds that, you know, not only did you fumble the ball firing Kairi, but this match needed her to turn on Asuka or to be a part of some aspect of the story for this match at Backlash. And without her there, there's going to be a lot missing. So I think with that, if Kairi comes back, I think this match will not only be back in the good graces of fans. It's going to be in the good graces anyway, but it's going to be even more so with more fans. Put people in a little bit of a happier space and, you know, have people go, okay, she got to be a part of the story, the finish of the story. Now we can move on. We're good. But if she isn't, it's going to leave a stain. Most definitely. While I talked about it needing Kairi, I still think that the match itself is going to be definitely in the upper echelon for Backlash matches. There's no way with two talents like this that they have a bad match at any event. Where we're headed with this story, I kind of think that after this match, this is also the end. No more needs to be done with this story between Io and Asuka. And I think that Io Sky needs to come out with the victory, regardless of if Kairi's there or not. She has to win this matchup because of all that Asuka has put her through. And then after this, you move on to whatever's next for both of these wrestlers, because at this point in time, the story is it's a little bit off the rails, if not completely off the rails. People have lost a lot of interest and a lot of faith, not only in the story, but in where it's headed. So you cannot extend it past Backlash with having Asuka win this match or having Io win this match. You can't extend it past this event, in my opinion. Hopefully, Kairi comes back, even if it's just for this one night, comes back and helps Io beat Asuka and turns on Asuka. Hopefully. Here we go! We are here. We've arrived at the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The one, the only, Jacob Fatu challenging the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Well, I talked about earlier in this match, or I talked earlier about Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins possibly needing a little bit of chaos to extend this rivalry into another event to get it into a more of an Extreme Rules style of match. This is another case where as the week have gone on and told this story of this matchup, this is a match where if there isn't a lot of powerhouse style and brawling, it misses the mark of what this match is asking of the competitors, and especially the story that can be laid out from this one match between Jacob and Roman. This matchup has all the makings to be a good foundation for the future of Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns as a rivalry. And I think that it's not going to miss that mark in any sense. I think it's going to hit it at every point, and one misstep and it's off the rails. But I don't think with the way Roman is and the way Jacob Fatu is right now, they're both... Roman's back on track with being the top of the mountain, and Jacob Fatu is right now in a run, starting of a very hot run in his career in WWE, which means that this matchup is so important for Jacob Fatu. It's really important, and it's going to be a matchup for Jacob where we see him evolve even more and really show more of that inside competitor spirit, I think, that Jacob Fatu has. And once again, I hate to bring it up once again, but interference is possible with Jimmy and Jay basically realigning, to a degree, with Roman Reigns to, again, become the bloodline. I wouldn't be surprised if we re-enter that in this matchup in some form or way, whether it be during the match or after the match. However, I do think that it would set up, if that was the case, I think it would set up something where Roman doesn't want to go down that path. Of course, this is for future reference, not this match's reference. It does have something to do with this match because I think it leads Jacob Fatu down the similar road of Jey Uso, where maybe at a WrestleMania, Jacob ends up being the one to beat Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think that this is going to be one of those matches that doesn't have Solo Sikoa come out and stand on the stage and watch it. It's got all the makings of, once again, getting into kind of a civil war situation with the bloodline. We've seen it a million times, and it's kind of done and over with, but it could have that feeling. There's just so much mixing right now that we've seen over the weeks leading up to Backlash. I really do feel that if this matchup doesn't have some broken barricades or tables or broken bodies along the way, you know, something similar to what Roman did with CM Punk, but a little more maybe Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu style, with a little bit of that matchup with CM Punk and Roman Reigns mixed into it. You know, have the powerhouse and the brawler side there, which these two obviously possess, but have the technical side be there, which Roman Reigns possesses, and we haven't seen that much from Jacob Fatu, which is where I think Jacob Fatu would evolve his game in this matchup for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, who do I think would come out the victor in this matchup? I think the victor in this matchup is one and only, put your ones up, it's the only tribal chief, the original tribal chief, whatever moniker you want to know him as, the only tribal chief, Roman Reigns, retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash in Tampa. It's going to be a fun match. It's going to be, I think, at the end of it all, I think this event's going to leave a mark on fans, but I think it's still not going to be what... especially with 5 matches on the card. Now, granted, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther gets added to the card. I will do a little short video doing my prediction for that matchup as well. But for right now, we have 5 matches with the possibility of 100 million ads to be played over said 5 matches, especially the main event, which would completely kill everything. similar to what it did with WrestleMania. Sadly enough, that seems to be the way of it now. But I think all in all that this event will still at least come close to meeting expectations. There's a lot right now in the atmosphere that is wrong with what's happening at WWE and TKO. It's just that right now they're shooting themselves in the foot. They had a lot of momentum and they've lost a lot of that with WrestleMania and then the firings, and then this event's going to be a benchmark for what's happening in the current atmosphere, especially around the WWE, sadly. And there's no escaping that. The matches to look for, to watch for in this event are definitely, of course, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's number one with a bullet. And the second one, of course, is Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. And I will actually put in Io Sky and Asuka as the third out of the 5 matches on this card. Kind of getting tired of these short cards, by the way. I remember back in the day when pay-per-view, or I guess now premium live event, would be about 8, 9, 10 plus matches with no ads playing in between the matches. Gone are the days, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this event, Backlash in Tampa for 2026. Keep that hope alive, ladies and gentlemen. There's always a chance that it blows all of our expectations out of the water. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think's going to win each and every match. Let me know who you think Danhausen's partner is going to be. And overall, let me know how you think the event will do. My review of Backlash will come out next week. Thank you all so much for watching this video. As always, imagine your dream, create your happiness, and live your life on the edge. And I will see you in that next episode. See ya!